Warm welcome from Juma Game Reserve here this morning, everybody, and look what we've got for you. Father and son sitting together having breakfast. Absolutely incredible. And I must admit, I wasn't really expecting them to be here, and then as we were setting out, we heard that they were. And the fact that they're sitting in the same tamboti tree. Yambara is feeding off of the Nyala carcass. Induna sitting further back, his belly looks quite nice and full. Absolutely incredible. And there are a few hyena around. How many can you see, Becky? I can only see a couple. I think there's probably about 3 or 4 hyena around here. There is barely a metre between father and son. I really can't get over this. It's very true, hey?
Yeah. Well, some of them.
The hyenas are really waiting quite patiently at the bottom of the tamboti tree, waiting for any scraps. And it looks like part of the Nyala leg is hanging by a thread.
It's just incredible, like, the tolerance. It's not going to last forever, that's for sure. Oh yeah, but that's just shows you because you don't, this kind of stuff, I've only ever seen it really 25 to 26 years, I've only seen it ever maybe 3-4 times when you get gads with cubs. Yeah, and even, but you see, even last year, remember,
I think this is going to be answering a few questions about how Induna and Yambara were going to react to each other. Because remember yesterday when Mark found them here, Yambara was sitting on the ground and I think Induna a little bit away from him, but no sign of aggression from either leopard. And later on Yambara left and Induna made his way to the carcass to feed on it. But we didn't actually see them together, so this really is amazing to see. I mean, Induna's actually sleeping at the back there, so there's obviously no aggression there from his father. He feels quite relaxed with him being so close.
then you could also.
That is a contented cat if ever I saw one. So there's Induna. For those of you who are not too sure, Yambara is the big male leopard feeding off the Nyala carcass. And we can be a lot more sure about Yambara being Induna's father, because I believe the matings were seen between him and Karula, the same as we saw her mating in August for the third litter. So that's how we can be fairly sure that they are father and son, and obviously this interaction as well. Even if you didn't really have that to go off, and actually point in the right direction. But there's still a big question mark over the first litter, whether it's Mafufanyan or Yambara Dan. And again, through interactions with Mafufanyan, who is thought to be Karula's father, when he was, or when she had the cubs, I think that's why it is thought that Mafufanyan is actually the father of the first litter. But there's the matings weren't seen, so it was more the interactions that people were going off, I believe. So there it could still be a gap where it was actually Yambara Dan that mated with Karula. We see the hyena. You're able to see it past the bush there. Hyena's waiting patiently again. I actually saw the female with a notch, 2 notches in her right ear, so that was our first mother a year ago. So she's around. There's another mother that's here as well, saw her. Another hyena coming in. Oh! And that happened. It was at peace. Hyena's got it. Just goes to show patience definitely pays off. This is going to be beautiful. Hopefully the sun's just creeping over the top of the ridge now, so hopefully we'll get some light, some on Induna now. You should be able to see that golden fur coming through.
12 hours wait. You all are very you see these, I just left that up. Yeah, they can no, but you can just see the way they sense the smell.
Yo. That's quite interesting. I don't know if you saw Induna right in the corner, snarling. showing his teeth to his father. Coming around the back here. I'm just gonna. Have I got space to move back there? Oh.
That's dangerous. Because there's lions with it. Yeah, usually are. Someone clobbered her on the back. See the nervous now.
Oh, another piece. There goes Yambili. It's all too much for Yambili.
Trevor, you see, that's how you do it, boy. Watch the hyena, and now you're stuck.
My word. Is it safe to speak now? So if you ever wondered why a laughing hyena is so called, that's exactly why. They were excited about the fact that there was a piece of meat and there was quite a nice big chunk, and they're still chasing each other for it. It was gone. And Yambili obviously saw the chance to escape from the tree. There's not much of the carcass left.
I mean, if you've got any brains, you should get out of it now. I don't know.
And good morning to you, Eileen. Welcome on board. It's a fantastic sighting. I cannot believe what's just happened here. With the hyenas chasing in and out of the vehicles, you can see it's actually quite a tight space here. There's not really too much room to manoeuvre.
Yeah, no.
Induna actually looking like he's going to try and fill his belly even more. Eileen wanting to know if male leopard have any interaction with the cubs. or with the female after he's mated with her, and how does he know that Induna is his son? Excuse me. Usually males don't have any interaction with the female after mating. They usually go their separate ways. But something very special here in the Sabi Sands is occurring, and possibly because there's such a high density of leopard, in that the families do interact, or family members do interact. I wouldn't say a great amount, but they do interact a lot more than maybe leopards elsewhere. I'd say it could possibly be because of the density of the leopards. So we have actually seen Yambili Odan on a number of occasions interacting with Karula. When the cubs are very small, he's been at kills. When Mishu and Induna were young, he would sometimes share the kills. When I first arrived here in March 2010, I remember one of the very first sightings, watching Mark in that sighting with Yambili Odan, Karula and Mishu and Induna. So he has featured in their lives, I think, from fairly early on, and that's what I was saying about the interaction there. And also, we have seen the recent cubs in Karula and Yambili Odan, and I think Induna was also there at one stage on a kill, or at least one of them was, but I think Yambili has been at a kill with the new cubs. So there has been some interactions there. How they know, or how he knows, possibly he'll remember the mating, and if he's seen Karula since then and there's the cubs, then maybe he starts to recognise them through the scent. If there hasn't been that introduction almost, I do wonder if they would be able to smell and distinguish each other through the family ties, because it's thought baboons can. I think there has been some research done, and they've actually have found that baboons can tell the difference between each other through smell, and the cat's sense of smell is pretty good as well, so I would have thought that they could do the same, but I don't think that's been proven. I don't remember reading anything. But I think possibly through the introductions when they are cubs, and knowing that they've mated with that female has a big role to play in this instance. Have I got space to move back there? I'm going to try and move back a little bit now that Yambili... I didn't want to move when Yambili was feeding, because he did look at us. And then I started parking here, so I didn't want to push our luck. Sun is starting to peek over the top. Now hopefully the lions are going to be occupied with their buffalo kill, so hopefully all that commotion from the hyenas won't draw them in, but maybe if there's any other lions or even leopards in the area, then that commotion might alert them to the fact that there's a carcass here, and that might bring them in. If anybody does have any questions this morning, then the email address to send them through is questions@juma.com. And I can tell you, I was so excited this morning to be on drive, and I actually woke up about 4 o'clock and I just couldn't wait to get out on drive. Absolutely incredible. Hi Carol, good to hear from you. Great to hear you're on board this morning. And I think Penny has some information about the interaction with Mafuffanyan and Karula. And if I understand correctly, I think you're saying that possibly Mafuffanyan was seen mating with her, and that's possibly why she did fall pregnant so early, possibly through that interaction. Because Mafuffanyan does seem to be the mate of choice with Safari, her mother. And maybe through that interaction. And Karula did fall pregnant pretty early. I think she was just over 2 years old when she actually conceived. Huh? Sorry? Oh, I thought you were talking to me. Sorry, I've only got one ear. But thanks for that information, Carol. See if we can ask Penny if Penny's on board, or if she's on board later. The details of that. Hi Peggy and Greg, all asking a similar question about the hyenas, about the safety. Does the risk to humans go up when they're running around like that, and is there a risk that they may jump into the vehicle? And they were scrapping actually just by Graham's legs, well, the door anyway. But there is always a possibility when animals are scrapping like that, they're so focused on what they're doing, they kind of forget maybe things are there. And there has been occasions where animals have jumped into the vehicles. And that's one of the reasons why when you enter a sighting, no matter what it is, you always look and see if there's enough space for the animals to move around in. As I say, it's quite a small space here, but it was big enough for them to run around. And obviously we hadn't moved, and that was one of the reasons why I didn't want to move at that stage as well. Because once we moved, I could have blocked their path, because obviously they've been moving around and walking around, and they obviously know where we are as well. So we almost become the furniture as well, like the bushes and the trees. But I wasn't too worried about them actually running into or jumping onto the vehicles. It's more running into the vehicles themselves. And I think at one stage, the piece of meat, because it was so long and so fat at one end, and it was actually just hanging on by a thread, that one of the hyenas almost throttled itself. I think it actually wrapped itself around the neck. But luckily it wasn't long enough to actually do any damage. I think it was actually tripping up on it as it was running around. Hi Liz, welcome on board over there in California. And I was talking about the leopard that was seen mating with Yambara, and she is a very special leopard, and she's probably one of the most watched leopards on the internet and probably worldwide. And Induna is actually her son, and her name is Karula, and she holds a very special place in, I think, probably every viewer's heart who has watched Wild Earth. She's actually the leopard whose territory we're in now, and Yambara-Ordan's territory overlaps with that, and a couple of other males do as well. But she's a resident female, and what's interesting is that Induna is actually just over, well, it's probably coming up to about 3 years old in November, and he's still here, whereas usually around that age they tend to move away, like his brother has done. Mishu, he's moved away and maybe looking for a territory, or he may hold one in a few years' time when they actually get a little bit larger. So she does have her new set of cubs. She's got a third litter, a little male and a little female. Excuse me. And she was seen mating. I actually had the privilege of seeing them mating on the 1st of August outside my room. Oh, another piece. Not too many hyenas to come and collect that one. That was a very good chunk. I'm going to see if I can actually pull forward then. Can we see her through there? She moved off. Oh, she's moved off already. Ah, no, there's the confusion. I forgot that we've already passed August. So it's actually August last year. So those cubs are going to be coming up almost for it. Also a year, we think, because the gestation period's about 100 days, so about 3.5 months. So we think that the cubs were born probably about mid-November. And the little girl's called Shivenzi. The little male we wanted to call Shava, which means shy. Shivenzi means bold. But Shava wasn't liked by the other guides, so I think we're still waiting to see if we can get another name for him. Because we don't want to have two names. We could keep Shava, but then it would mean that he would have two names. We'd know him by one name, and the rest of the guides would know him by another name. Okay, I think I'm going to try and roll forward again now that he's moved. Let me just roll forward. I'm going to park you in now. Can you see him at all there? Not really. Hi Bill, over there in California, good morning to you. How often do leopards need to make a kill? Depends on how big the prey that they've caught previously was and how much of that they have eaten. Hopefully you might be able to see Induna's expanded belly. It's pretty huge, and I'm actually amazed that you can fit any more in. But if he doesn't eat for the next 3 or 4 days, even 5 or 6 days, then it shouldn't be a problem, because he's still going to be busy digesting that. So I think for Induna, he probably would start hunting actively in about 4 or 5 days' time. But if there's the opportunity to hunt sooner, he could well take that, because they don't know when that next meal's coming from. And just in case, I think you probably could hear the whooping by the hyenas. Now that's a contact call. And you quite often hear that through the night. But that was a hyena saying, I've got food, I've found food, and contacting the rest of the clan. And they're actually one of the most vocal animals here in Africa. Many different types of call, but those two that we've heard this morning are two of the most common, and probably two of the best calls you could ever hear in Africa. And by the way, I didn't introduce the team. We were so enthralled with what we were seeing. Becky's on camera, Mark's back in final control, waiting to forward any questions that you may have to me. And my name's Tara. And for anyone that's just joined us, this is Induna, a young male leopard, and his father was here, but as soon as the hyenas started chasing each other, he decided that was the time to leave the tree in safety, so he ran off up the ridge. You want me to move?
No, I want you to be out this afternoon.
Sorry?
I want you to be out this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm out this afternoon. How were the lions? Are they still feeding?
Yeah.
Were the lions still feeding when you saw them?
There were two on it, and then there's that one very, very pretty little boy with the bit. He's there, and then I saw one down in the gravy house.
Cool.
So there were, I said there were 5 yesterday. I think we only saw 4 this morning.
Okay.
Did you see the fluffies this morning?
Sorry?
Did you see the fluffy faces?
Came straight here.
I forgive you.
We got another hyena coming in from the back there.
She's an extended troop member. You can get out of here if you want to.
Oh, here we go. Couple of hyena coming in. Yep.
Definitely I'm messing with a baby face is still better. There we go, there's more vocalization.
Hi, Randy. Interesting question. Induna's just keeping a watch on what the hyena's doing. I can actually hear some bone crunching. I think that's from the first chase. Oh no, there was a third piece of meat that fell. I think that was the third piece of meat that's being eaten by the hyenas. I'm going to try and see if we can get a better view of Induna for you. Unfortunately, we've got a few branches in the way. Let me see if we can pull back again, because now he's got his head up. You might just see him better through the branches. If I can go a bit further back. Actually, can you see him through there? That way? But interesting question there, Randy, asking with the hyenas. Oh, that's it. That's the last one. Oh dear, Induna. Unfortunately, Induna seems to be famous for dropping his food. And apparently he used to do it when he was a cub. He'd move the carcass around a lot. But to be fair, those bits were hanging on by a thread. But Randy was asking, with the success of the hyenas, is it possible that they're actually affecting the way the leopards are possibly cooperating to gain food? And as long as the leopard can get the kill into a tree, then there shouldn't actually be a problem from the hyenas, but it's actually getting the food into the tree. Now, I've seen a couple of times that this little boy has caught some very large prey and he's just not being able to get it into the tree. He's struggled, and he has actually lost a few kills to hyenas because of that. Now, that could play a role, the fact that there is quite a number of hyena here, and they probably do put a lot of pressure on the cats, especially the leopards. So I think it will affect it in a way, as far as actually cooperating. As I say, I think that has a lot to do with the density of the leopards, but we can't be sure if they did actually cooperate on actually making the kill. But the fact that we've seen both leopards feeding off the kill, we can't be certain exactly who made the kill. It was a Nyala bull, but both cats were seen here at the same time, although Yambili I think was closer to the carcass, so I would probably sway more towards Yambili making the kill and Induna coming along. But without actually seeing what happened, you can't really say for sure. But the tolerance that happens at kills is quite incredible. But I think it is that there's a lot of prey around here, so they don't need to be maybe as concerned, because there is a lot of prey, so maybe the success rate of their hunts is possibly a lot higher than other places. I think there's just a lot of factors involved, and I don't think the hyenas are just one factor. But definitely an interesting question there, Randy. And possibly, as we think about it more, there'll be other things that come out of that one. Hi, Andre. Wanting to know, will hyenas attack the leopard if it comes down the tree? I think in the feeding frenzy that they're in, I think it would be a distinct possibility that it will at least get chased. Especially with them being around and some got food and some didn't. But quite interestingly, if there's no food, we have seen hyena and leopard almost nose to nose. Depending on the individual, of course. Mishu we've seen a couple of times. But when food is around, that's when you get the competition between the two species, and that's when tempers flare. See, he's being actually very careful. Oh, I've got spots there. Unfortunately, I can't get around the back of the tree. I'm hoping we might just see him come down this side.
When he was a kid, he used to slap him around every now and again, but he was clever. He used to fly down the tree, bash the hell out of him and jump back up. No, I mean, no, they might.
And the fact that there's actually a number of hyena here,
Like that doesn't
he is
seem to
outnumbered,
go away. I mean,
which is
then
a problem.
I mean, yeah, he knows that because
There you go, you can see there's a triangle just on his left eye, and that's one of the main characteristics of Induna. So if you want to know how to identify him, some people call it bat wings, some people say it's a triangle, I think some people even call it a little angel there by his left eye, and a ring of spots around his right eye. Hi Jody, over there in New Mexico. Good to hear from you, Jody. Wondering if there's been any footage like this before. And I've not seen any footage, but never say never. I say, especially here in the Sabi Sands, there's something very special that happens here with the leopards. And a lot of documentaries tend to be from up in Eastern Africa, maybe even Botswana, more larger areas with a smaller population of leopards. Their territories tend to be a lot larger over in places like the Kalahari or in Tanzania. Oh, someone got a piece of leg again. Sorry? Oh. Oh, is he going to try and make his escape? Yep, there he goes.
Yeah, have a sniff around, see what's left if you bring it.
Where'd you go, Induna?
Straight in front of Graham's car.
Oh, he's in front of that. Okay. Raisa saying, also quite interesting because I haven't seen brothers actually sit in the tree and share the carcass. I'm going to head up onto the ridge. So, oh, he's here. He's just there. You see through the trees there. But we have seen Misha and Induna when they were a little bit older sitting in the tree, but there was quite a lot of aggression between them. Great to hear from you, Raisa. Oh, that wasn't what she was saying. Oh. Okay, sorry, Raisa. I was getting distracted by the hyenas. But definitely, and I can't believe my eyes either. The fact that father and son were sitting so close and not really that bothered. Hi, Joy in Minnesota. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, she will, but I think you're going to see a stick in thick bush.
And asking about the escape of Yambara Dan while the hyenas were... Oh, he just spotted the hyena. Okay, we're going to go up onto the ridge and see if we can maybe catch up with them. Otherwise, we'll continue on through to the lions. I want to try and see if we can have another look at the hyenas. See with their tails raised, they're excited. I think they're possibly going to be on his tail. But asking if the escape from Yambili, by Yambili, from the hyenas while in a feeding frenzy, would that be a bit of a danger to him? And I think that's possibly one of the better times because they're actually distracted, they're actually going for the food. So although temperatures are going to be high and they're focused on trying to get that food, it does mean that they're actually chasing each other and focused on that food, so they're less likely to notice him going, but I think if they do, then they probably would give chase to him. But I think it was a calculated risk, let's put it like that. Rather than just waiting or having the hyenas sleeping at the bottom of the tree, they're going to notice him slip away. Probably around 8, 9, 10, something like that. But maybe if somebody can help me with that, that'd be great. Hello, son. Good morning. Can leopards crunch the bone to get into the bone marrow. They have the strength. I was thinking maybe Induna might pop out here. I think roughly around the same area. Let's just go in this side, just see if I can see anything from here. But they'll be able to crunch small bones. And they may even eat parts of the bone with calcium. But large bones, that is the hyena's department, and that's why hyenas are actually quite a valuable asset to the bush, because they actually clean up the carcasses, and they do eat everything. They eat everything and anything. So anything that nobody else can digest or to break it. I mean, you can actually see hyenas crunch huge bones, and I don't know if, I think the hyena might have been a little bit too far away for you to hear them crunching through that leg bone of the Nyala. Let's see if we can actually hear them. They're standing by.
I've got him down here. Hyena just punched up another tree.
Let's go that way. Come up, you're going to come and join me? Chased up, possibly into this jackalberry. So he must have just slipped out this way, and I thought he was going straight up the ridge, and he would possibly cross right over. We need to just turn the sound up a little bit, it's a lot of muffled sound. That's the same problem I was having yesterday. It might be in the drainage line there. Right, come in.
Yeah, you just have to get this big jackalberry on your side of it.
Oh.
There's a smaller one.
Oh, he's in that one, not this one. Okay. Good copy. Is it better to stay on the ridge?
Yeah, he's on the side like that. There's a yard.
Morning to you, Luke. Wanting to know why animals don't attack people or the vehicles. It's because they haven't really grown up eating people, so they don't actually need to jump into the vehicles to feed on people. They have enough prey out there to satisfy them. Oh, he's over here. Do you want to go ahead? He's just over there. There he is, I can see him. Good, how are you? So I was also confused, I thought he was in this one here. He's over there. if we had a human eating lion, for example, then we would have a problem, because then they would turn their attention towards people. But the fact that we don't means that they see these things in their lives every day, or every other day, or every other week. And they get used to them. You get some individuals who are relaxed around them like Karula. I don't know if we're going to be able to see. We're going to have to stay here. You see him just straight through there. Yeah. Here he goes. We might just come around this way. Otherwise, we might just leave this area. It's a very thick bush. Just try and there he is. Oh, hyena. There's the hyena. You see him? Yeah, I've got him BC here.
Groovy. Might get him up a tree again.
Just move a bit further along. Now the only time really we get a problem with carnivores eating people is under special circumstances. Oh, here he is. You see his head is poking out from the back of the tamborti. Yeah, I've got visual this side.
Okay, groovy, thanks.
Sitting at the base of the tamborti just in case that hyena comes back. So that may be animals that are injured and can no longer hunt the normal prey. Animals that are incredibly old and their teeth are starting to decay because we're quite soft as well. And say on normal circumstances they don't see us as something to eat. Oh, shame, Penny. Thanks, Penny. So I think it is still a big question mark. Apparently there was a mating scene between Karula and Mafufenyan, but there was still a big question mark as to whether he was the father or not. There he goes. Let's see if we can catch up with him on the other side. Over the bush here. Hyenas have gone that way. Induna's going that way. Go on, you lad. So not wasting the energy actually running up and climbing the tamborti tree. Just sitting at the base just in case those hyenas come back. Squeeze through here. Did you get visual, Graham? It looked like he was clambering up this way. Good copy. Yeah, I think we're going to leave the lock. Thank you. Sorry?
You might go for a drink.
Is there not another vehicle that wants to come in?
Well, but I think
They're quite far. Okay, cool.
follow through there, so I would stay if I was you.
Fair enough. I thought there was another vehicle wanting to come in. Sorry, there was a question. There was another vehicle coming in, so we were looking for the lock. But he just apparently there's only one other vehicle. Just listen to what's being said there. So, yes, right. Destiny wants to say hello to her childhood friend and a new viewer. Welcome on board. And I didn't hear what name, what was the name. So if you could send through the name, please. Mark? Julia York. Welcome on board, Julia York. Great to have you with us. Yeah, that's the same problem that we had yesterday. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to do either. Apparently it sounds like I'm in a tin can. So, I don't know, do you want to try putting the volume up and maybe dropping the volume on mic 2, see if that works? How's that? Is that any better? Okay. So, apparently it's not better. Apparently not better. We maybe take out just unplug the camera mic. So see if the camera mic is on. I say I was getting the same problem yesterday. Maybe I'm plugging that little mic. See if that makes a difference. How's that? Is that any better? A little bit better. Wondering if he's going to come and lay up maybe in this drainage line here. I think maybe we'll find out how many vehicles are with the lions and see if we can make our way that side. Worse, apparently. do wonder whether Yambara, he also, I think, went up this way, but let's keep an eye out for him too. I think that was a question that I was in the middle of answering and I just completely popped out of my head before saying hello to Julia York. But certainly a fantastic sighting to start off with, Julia. Say that's one of the best things about what we do here, and with it being live and being able to interact. And the fact that you just don't know what's going to happen. You know, we don't actually tell you through a story. The story actually unfolds as we're watching it, and that is, for me, extremely special. And as you saw, there are sightings that may have never been seen before, maybe never even been recorded before. Having father and son leopard together, barely a meter away. It's really quite phenomenal. How's the sound now? Is it any better? Slightly better, but not great. But I think I might have to look at it. I have to drive, quite possibly then. Should we go down? Yes. Okay. Teddy, Northern California, and I definitely agree with you. It really was absolutely awesome to hear the laughing hyenas, and that's their other name. They're called spotted hyenas. There was a spotted hyena in the road, also known as laughing hyenas because of that cackling call when they're excited like that. Really quite awesome. And asking if there's a family tree. So if he did, keep it like that. So asking if there's a family tree, and I have been writing blogs on where each member of Kabula's family fits in, and I'm going to start reposting them again. I'm going to try and post them onto Juma's webpage too. So I did start with Mafufanyan, Karula's father, and as we've just been discussing, the possible father of the first litter, Karula's first litter. So as I say, I am going to try and start posting them up again. But if anybody fancies trying to do maybe a collage, what I was thinking of doing, I was going to try and do it myself, but if anybody fancies the challenge, what I was thinking of maybe trying to do a picture family tree. So if we have Mafufanyan and Safari at the top, and actually having Karula and maybe a picture, if anyone's got a picture of her brother or sister, and then obviously her cubs. So we sort of start at the top and work our way down. So if anybody, or from the side across, so if anybody does fancy doing that, I can put it straight onto a blog as well, which will help people. That'd be awesome. Otherwise, we'll try and get and do that. I'll still have to write about Induna, he's missing. And even though Mvula's not really related, we still see him, so I'm going to be writing one about Mvula too. So if you would like to send through that family tree, then send it through to tara@juma.com. And if you'd like to read about Mafufanyan, all the leopards that you see have got their own Facebook pages. So Induna male leopard for Induna today, and the Jordan male leopard for Yambili Jordan. So if you look on those Facebook pages, and Mafuffinyan with a U for his Facebook page, and I have put the blog there. It's on the Wild Earth webpage too, under Safari News. It's the most recent one there. Hi, D&J. Good morning to you. Wondering if Induna is the father of Karula's cubs. Nope, Induna is a cub of Karula. So it's Yambili Jordan is the father of Karula's cubs. Hoping I'm saying, I don't know if this is your right name, but Meladan? That was your... Oh, no name. Oh, it's just an email address. So, hello, no name. Email address. Wondering if Induna was sexually mature, would Yambili Jordan have acted differently? And I would have said yes. I think he would have acted differently if he was sexually mature. But having said that, who knows? It could be that, I mean, he is coming up for 3 years old, so he should actually be becoming sexually mature. We have seen him scent marking, but he hasn't really, he doesn't hold on to a territory. So I think if he was possibly sexually active, possibly, but then again there's no females in the area that are in season. I mean, we've got Karula who's already got cubs, so she's not going to be wanting to mate anytime soon. I think all the other females in the area, apart from Shadow might be Tingana as we know her. She might be coming into Easter soon. So I actually forget how old Induna is. I keep thinking he's a 2-year-old, but he is coming up to 3. So maybe if he was slightly older, maybe, but I think we'll have to wait and see. I mean, it's amazing that he's still here, 3 years old almost, and he's still here. And that's quite incredible in itself. As we were saying before, the density of the leopards and the population being so high here, that could have a lot to do with it, and the tolerance level, and because there's a lot of prey, the tolerance level is quite high compared to maybe other places where the prey density isn't as good. Are there any stations still with Ngala?
station still with the Ngala? Andrew. Alright, good copy. Yeah, I just wanted to check. Thank you. Just confirm, Graham, is it on the northern side where that two-track leads to the northern side of Sept Dam?
If you go on to the fire break, cut through that little radius on the fire break, and then just take that little two-track, then take you to the bank of that. You just like back to the side of the
Thank you. Oh, leopard! Oh! This looks like Rafufunya. No, it can't be. I usually see him here. Just see if he's going to come out through here. It might even be Yambili. They're going to come through here. I'm hoping it comes through here. Yeah, we're just in the dip. Levels are down. They look like they have a very thick neck, which made me think not flipping yarn, but I suppose he's flipping it. Oh, there he is. He's coming down. Let's see if we can go around the back. Right there, Becky. A great idea. Sorry? You see Nyala? Oh yes. Nyala up on the ridge.
breakfast in here. Hello, boy. Yeah. Mark's actually whispering in my ear, and I think you could be right, Mark. My first thought was possibly Whitecloth's son. Well, I say first thought. Just seeing him now. The ghost. Anybody managed to see? I was looking through my binoculars. Okay, he's gone into the drainage line with him. He was actually quite skittish. I've not noticed a notch in the left ear. It didn't look like Yambara or Dan. Oddly enough, he did have quite a saggy neck. And Whitecloth's son is about the same age as Induna. Anyone can help me out there. Anyone got a nice screen capture? Oh, there. And there goes. Standing by?
Just trying to confirm, are those cats active or not?
I haven't made my way there. I've literally just found an ingwe just in the dip. Sorry, just in the dip, just to the west of Buffelshoek Dam. I didn't get a positive ID on it. Negative. He's just mobile now. Westerly direction. I'm actually just losing visual now. If I can maybe get in there. I don't think I'm going to be able to. There's a lot of. It's funny, actually, I wonder if you saw the Nyala right at the back there. Hearing, I don't think we're going to be able to find. I'm a Doda. It seems to be, but it's not going too fast. But on the ridge. I was hoping we might just get the last look there. Yeah, I was trying to get. So if anybody knows who, I don't know. I'm confused. Raisa, I think, saying Yambili or Dan. Could be. I sort of saw a heart there, but I say that thickness of the neck. That's the only thing that I'm thinking why it wouldn't be white clothson, because it did have quite a large neck. It's funny if it is Yambili. We've just been with him, and it's funny because I didn't really look too closely at him. It was quite dark. And I didn't notice that notch in the left ear. So I think we are going to have to... Oh, okay. So it sounds like there is a confirmation there. So you had quite a good visual of him on the camera. So I was looking through the binoculars. Ah, okay. Someone saw the mark in the corner of his left eye. Awesome. So it was... Mark saw the mark. So he went through all the leopards. So my second guess was right. Yambili or Dan. I wonder if he made his way over here to see if he could get a look in with the lions. The station is not able to relocate Ngwe Fambert, possibly Yambili or Dan, Fambert West into the drainage line, possibly coming out towards Nyala Road north and Hyena in between there. I might lose you again. I'm going to go through that bad signal drop. Let's head around towards the lions. We got a cave from before, from where we were this morning, as the crow flies. Might lose you as we go through the dip again. They must have come here for a drink after feeding. It's quite interesting because I would have thought this was a bit further away than Gary Dam. In fact, well, it is. Gary Dam's just down the road from where they were eating. Just goes to show you can try and predict. Nature is unpredictable. Okay, we might just lose you through here as well. This is where they oops. It should be around here somewhere. Apparently this is I see where the vultures are. Okay, so we need to go a bit further. The vultures aren't here. So we need to go a bit further. Didn't see one. Here. There's tire tracks there. Yeah, I didn't see any back there. I'm just go a bit further. Did you notice a two-track there? No. This is looking more like it, or even here actually. There's a lot going in here. There we go. So we have from spotted cat, now I'm going to hopefully see some tawny cats. I was actually planning on coming here a little bit earlier because once the sun starts climbing, starts getting a lot warmer and the cats tend to go and start lining up in the shade. There is no way I could have left that sighting. It really was quite an incredible one this morning. I'm still I still can't believe what we saw this morning. Now there is a vehicle there. A station with the Induna. Sorry, I didn't copy. Go again. see the vultures through there. I think the other vehicle's going to just make space for us. Ooh. Yeah, hooded vultures, that's one of the smallest vultures that we have joining the carcass here. So there was actually five male lions found on the buffalo carcass from the Matimbas. Now there's one male lion that isn't there, and apparently he's also called Induna, which means chief. So we saw the leopard Induna, and he misses part of his tail, but apparently he's not here at the moment. He's somewhere, possibly with the Unkahuma females mating, and Graham said he only saw 4 males this morning. I think I just saw some whiteback vultures as well. Oh, apparently he's in the Manuletti. Thanks, Mark. All the way up in Tinswalo, I was seeing there. Oh, there's some whiteback vultures sitting in the tree opposite. Okay, they've made some space for us, so we're going to pull in now. If we do have any new viewers, we try and avoid moving around too much around the animals, because that does make them a little bit edgy. Have too much movement around them, so usually we wait until the other vehicles have stopped moving to move. Are you wanting to come back in?
I've got one male here just on my front of the truck. I'm going to look at him for a bit and I'm going to be moving on my path.
Yeah, okay, copy. Yeah, I just didn't want to block you. Boys are doing. Yeah, the carcass is there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and come in from that side, because we're quite close here. And I think to try and get the vehicle in to get a view of them. Oh, we've got a line just here. Sorry, mister. I'm too busy trying not to disturb them. I didn't notice him. Joe, come in. I think he might be making his way back to Babamba, but there was Lutu left when we left, but he might still be making his way that side.
No, I can't copy.
Absolute stunning males. I mean, you can get some beautiful looking male lions, and beautiful looking lionesses, and you get some that are a little bit battle scarred. But these boys are just probably some of the most beautiful male lions I've ever seen. Part of the Matimba Pride, or Matimba Coalition, should I say. It looks like he does have a scratch above his left eye, and that could have been from when they were feeding on the buffalo. Doesn't look like there's too much left.
location being to the restart as well. Regular coming. I don't think we don't see that. I think it's
Now just to explain a little bit of line etiquette. You never want to park straight onto the lines, and especially when they've got a carcass, they can be a little bit more aggressive, obviously protecting their food. But you can see now, I mean obviously he was watching us, so I was busy seeing where the others were and just watching their behaviour. I didn't see him because he was actually hidden from view as we came in. So he was watching us, so we backed off a little bit just to let him know that we don't want to confront him, we don't want to challenge him. And now you can see he's not even looking at us. That means that he's actually okay with us being here. But I think I am going to have to move because there's another vehicle coming in. We'll see. Probably will be okay with him sitting on that side. Now in any cats, it is a direct challenge to them if you stare straight at them and straight into their eyes. And that's one of the reasons why you want to try and avoid actually parking straight in front of them, because that could be perceived as that. And I have seen lions get very upset if you do that. I wonder if we can maybe just have a quick look at the carcass. And hopefully you'll actually be able to see it's hidden in quite thick bush there, so the vultures are not going to have a chance at eating even when the lions are not too close, because they're going to feel very, very conscious of being trapped in there. And they actually will wait if the lions, and they're still sitting pretty close to the carcass as well, so it's not really worth risking. And I think it was Penny that's sent in a while ago that she's actually seen vultures waiting up to five or 6 days, I think it was. It was quite a long period of time before they actually had a chance to eat from the carcass, or a carcass. So they're willing to wait, they'll sit and wait. There you go. So it's actually in amongst quite a few bushes and trees, so they're not going to be able to escape. If a lion does actually chase them, they're not going to be able to escape very easily. But if it was out in the open, we may see a different story. If the lions were far enough away and it was out in the open, you may get the vultures coming down if they felt that they were able to fly away quick enough. And I think actually it's Vulture Appreciation Day tomorrow. And the sad thing is vultures, there are a few vultures that are becoming endangered because people will kill them, and they actually think they pests and scavengers, and unfortunately they're actually killed for muti, for medicine. And unfortunately there's been a huge problem with vultures being poisoned. Not directly, but indirectly because of other scavengers like jackals in the past. So the farmer might put out a carcass with poison to try and rid the area of jackal, and unfortunately the vultures eat it and also die from that poison. Obviously it is illegal now to do that. See the other male there. From what I can see, I think there's 2, possibly 3 actually sleeping right next to the carcass, and then the other 2 on either side. So I think the 5 are still here. It's just the Induna, the chief, that's missing. And these are mostly golden maned lions. You saw in that first male and this male actually. What a beautiful golden mane. And it is thought that the dark-haired or dark-maned lions have genes from Namibia. And we're actually starting to see a few dark-maned lions here in the Sabi Sands. Oh yes, and the Kalahari. Forgot the Kalahari. Did you manage to show the whiteback vultures, or is there a tree in the way? I think there might be a tree in the way for you, hey?
I can see one.
The whiteback vultures are actually slightly larger. Slightly larger than the hooded vulture. Yep. Which females? Just say that again. Okay. So skybeds. Apparently there's a couple of females called the skybed females. I don't know how many is actually in that pride. But it sounds like the Matimba male is with them, and it sounds like they're pregnant. Or one of them's pregnant with cubs from the Matimbas. Because that's where the Matimbas were originally from, was the Manuletti. And I suppose with the Gajimas no longer with us, and with these boys getting quite large now, they're extending their territory and incorporating what would have been the Gajima male's territory. So thanks to whoever sent that information through. Ah, Sil. Good morning to you, Sil. Over there in Canada. Sil following the Matimba males quite closely. I think, as Mark said yesterday, I think they're #1 fan. Great to hear that you're with us, Sil. Thanks for that information. Hi Julie, good morning to you. Wanting to know if you can see the archive footage of the kill. We actually didn't see the kill itself. Mark was here yesterday when they were feeding on the kill. So there's not too much left, but they've got nice big fat bellies, so I don't think they're going to move for a little while at least. They might just go down to the dam to drink. Certainly the vultures are being very patient. But archives, I'm not too sure what's going on with the archives. I know some people were saying that some of the footage was missing. But maybe some of the viewers can help us if the archive footage from yesterday is up at the moment. But there is a button that does say archives on the player itself, I believe. So you can actually watch the drives if you do miss them. And also if you want to follow us a little bit more closely, then we do have the Facebook page, and we are actually using the Juma Private Reserve, I think it's called. If Mark can maybe just remind me what the Facebook page is, because we have moved everything from the Safari Channel page. So if you're a fan of Safari Channel page, if you'd like to become a fan of the Juma Facebook page, and that's where all the posts and everything are being put up, and all the pictures as well. That's it, Juma Private Game Reserve on the Facebook. The Matimbas also have their own Facebook page, so if you would like to follow them a little bit more closely, then follow them on the Facebook page as well. And if you have enjoyed what you've been seeing today, it really has been absolutely fantastic. And it just goes to show you don't know what's going to happen, you don't know how each day is going to pan out until you're actually here, and being live with us is really something very special. And if you are a new viewer and you would like to help us keep the drives going, then please tell all your friends, your family, your neighbours, let them know what we're doing here in South Africa, and hopefully we can keep the drives going. And all you need to do is just watch and tell everybody about us, and watch the adverts, because that's how we raise the money to keep the drives going. And if you would like to watch the Juma waterhole camera as well, that's on 24 hours a day, and we do have zoomies, and if you'd like to become a zoomie, then there is a blog on how to do that. Send your details through, and the way you find the blogs is on Safari News. But you can listen to the sounds of the bush and watch animals coming down to the waterhole to drink. Keep an eye on, see if Karula's around there. Maybe even Induna might make his way there sometime today, so definitely keep a watch out today if you want to see more of the leopards. Could be a possibility he makes his way there, but who knows? As I say, Yambara came this way. Oh, you're on Himmite. Hi, Sandy. Wanting to know if the lion to our right has lost his eye. No, I think it's just looking quite bloody. I think it's quite a fresh scratch going just across the top and the bottom of the eye. So I don't think his eye is actually damaged. Hi Linda, over there in Georgia, asking about him breathing heavily. Is it because he's just eaten, or is it because of the weather, or is it because he is hurt? And lion life is very temperamental, and they will have plenty of fights, especially when it comes to feeding as well. So little scratches and things like that are all part and parcel of being a lion. So definitely the scratch above his eye, I'd I think is a flesh wound. I don't think it's anything to really be worried about. But he will be panting. It is getting quite hot now. He is sitting quite out in the sun, so we might actually see him move very shortly. As the sun does climb higher. Not sure if he is going to get much shade from there. He might do. But also, because he has been eating, so it will be a combination of things. And when they do have a full belly, they do have an increase in temperature, in the body temperature, because obviously the digestion's happening. And that's why you'll often find them rolling onto the side or even onto the back to expose that very thin skin. And that actually allows them to release a lot of the heat that's building up inside the body. Some information coming through from Penny. Ah, that was it. So yeah, it was for a giraffe carcass. Thanks, Penny. So it was about 6 days. There we go. Hello, mister. Beautiful boy. Just getting a little bit too hot there. If he's going to go and rejoin his brothers. There's a nice big shady spot just there. Let's see if we can move forward now. Wow. Okay, so there was confirmation that they were mating with the Unkakumas there as well. So I think there was possibility that they were mating with the Unkakumas, but there wasn't confirmation. There we go. Oh. It always looks so uncomfortable when they've got a full stomach. How many can you see there, Becky? Is it just 2 still? I thought there might have been a 3rd one lying up with them. Especially as it gets hotter, they're going to start kicking each other as well. They get quite irritable. Hi, Christine. Good morning to you. Asking about the buffalo. Could the male lion have got the shiner from the buffalo by putting up a fight? Quite possibly. Quite possibly. I mean, the buffalo are quite a difficult animal to take down. I mean, they do have those huge horns. I mean, this does look like an adult. So they have those huge horns to contend with, and they have the aggression to match, so they will put up a fight. They won't go down easily. So it could have come from maybe catching the horn, but they say it could also have been from the males fighting over feeding from the carcass. But I think it's probably from this escapade because it looks fairly fresh, nice and pink. I just want to see if that male's making his way down to the water to drink, but I think he's actually gone to the shade of one of the trees in the drainage line. So let's just have a quick look, because he may have started walking. We might see the fifth lion. And the white-backed vultures have gone as well. And Penny also sending through information. Apparently it's believed if you put the head of a vulture on your head, you can see the lottery numbers. So unfortunately, that's another. Oh, your hat. Sorry, you put a vulture. Oh, on your hut. Sorry. Oh, there he is. Yep. I was thinking this was a little bit more open. So yeah, so apparently it's the belief of some of the local people that by putting a vulture's head on the hut, not your hat or your head, as I thought I was hearing, but on the hut, then you're going to be able to see the lottery numbers. Which is causing quite a big problem for vultures. Cape vultures in particular are getting a huge problem with dropping in number. I think we're going to be able to see them any better, are we? I was hoping maybe if we come around the back here we might be able to see these guys a little bit better. But we may have to leave them to it. I think they are just going to be sleeping. Do you want to just show them where he is at least? Can we see him? We need to move back a bit. Just there. And that's where he decided to lie up. There's actually some very nice shade there. That's obviously why he chose that spot. And that's one of the reasons why male lions can show how strong they are through the mane, because obviously that thickening of hair is not going to really be that comfortable during these hot temperatures, and especially the animals that aren't fit and are not able to really cope with those hot temperatures are not going to have extremely thick manes. And especially animals that aren't in good condition, you'll find even mane falling out. I mean, we have seen some animals where they've had a beautiful mane one year, and the following year, because of illness or injury, the mane's actually decreased in size quite dramatically. So that's one of the reasons why a female can actually see how fit, visually, how fit an animal can be. And that's one of the reasons why they may go for lions with much longer manes, because they're going to be older lions, and if they have got a beautiful big mane, it does mean that they are fit and they've been able to survive a lot. I mean, it's not easy being a lion. But also, when they are fighting, that mane is going to help protect their neck. So there's a couple of reasons why lions do have manes. And it is a fallacy that they won't hunt. They will, and these boys would have brought down this buffalo without the help of the females. And I did hear last night from the guides that the 2 Nkahuma males are still going, the one with the injury, the injured back leg. I think some people were asking. I found out last night that he is still around and he's still doing well. So just an update there. And apparently, Mvula and Tandy, who we know as Siseka, and her son who's actually Mvula's son, were treed by the Salalas yesterday. Found out from the guys last night. Apparently Mvula was calling, and that's possibly who we saw him calling for. Possibly Saseka. We thought it might have been Karula, which we thought was a bit odd. Maybe it was Saseka, but he was calling and calling and calling. Apparently he was contacting her for whatever reason, and he was actually walking towards her, and he walked right into the Salala females. And apparently Saseka was up in a tree balancing on the branches, and Mvula and his son actually managed to climb another tree, and apparently if the son had put a foot wrong, then that might have been the end of him by the Salalas. But luckily he didn't, and he survived another day. So Saseka actually being a female leopard, the first born from Karula, and she has a son, and apparently the son is doing well. I think there were some people a bit worried because he hadn't been seen, so I know some people will be quite happy to hear that he was seen. So just an extension on the leopard family I forgot to mention earlier. Okay, well, shall we extract ourselves? That shady patch actually really does look quite inviting. There's quite a nice breeze, I think, flowing over there as well, which is going to help. You can see it's actually exposing the belly, like I was saying earlier. Oh, colour bars. That's interesting. Not seen that one before. Okay. You might hear me clicking away, and I'm very happy because I've actually got my lens back, all nice and fixed. Thank you. And I can tell you I've really been missing my lens. Unfortunately though, the weather has not been, or the light wasn't great. Nice pictures of Induna and his father. But if you've got some good screenshots, if you'd like to share them with us, please do. And if you'd like to post them on the individuals' Facebook pages as well, definitely do that. Always good to see them on there as well. Morning to you. Wanting to know, do lions kill for food only? Generally, Lucille, although occasionally there can be other reasons for it. Lions have been known to kill leopards and not eat them. Lions have been known to kill other lions and not eat them. Although the coalition that these boys have evidently chased off, the Majingi lions, actually killed one of the Mapoko males and started eating him. Yeah, a beautiful boy. Oh. Quick last look, thinking as he looked over his shoulder, excuse me. And I've actually known a lioness to be quite bloodthirsty, and I think there's a lot of factors which I think she had excess energy because there was no spotted hyena on the reserve, no other lions on the reserve, so they weren't really challenged, and I think that might have had a lot to do with it. And I actually watched her on a number of occasions leaving a kill that they've just made to go and kill something else. And I think there was one night they actually killed 5 wildebeest, 1 blesbok and 1 kudu, and they didn't eat much of that. They just went on a killing spree. Now that's not really normal behaviour. And I think they even were responsible for killing an aardvark and not eating it. They just pulled the aardvark out the hole, just crushed the head and then left it. But I think that is very unusual behaviour. But generally they'll just eat for food. Yep. Hi JV, wanting to see the lions feeding on the kill. Unfortunately, they're not feeding. We're actually at the kill now. As we were before, we're actually just pointing towards it rather than away from it. So maybe if Becky can just scan across, you can see it a little bit better there. There you go. So that's what's left of the kill. It's a few of the ribs showing. Probably all the innards have been eaten now. But we might have to come back a little bit later on and see them feeding again. So I was hoping to come here a little bit earlier. That was my thought. We'll swing by, see if the leopards were there, and then come up this way and try and catch them feeding. Oh, got some movement up ahead. Here comes one of the other boys. There you go, mister. But certainly as the sun rises higher and higher in the sky, they're going to be less likely to feed. Oh, the other male's coming back. I think he's seen his brother moving. Just goes to show you can try and predict. Oh, I think he's going for that little tree possibly. Yeah. The tree quite close to the ground that's going to offer quite a lot of shade, I think. Now where are you going, mister? Your brother's over there here. He seems very restless. So maybe that spot over there wasn't as good as what we thought. I think these boys have probably got the ideal spot. It's nice and shaded, there's a breeze flowing over, and I thought that's what he had over there. Maybe not. And there will be a pecking order amongst these boys as well, so you will still have a more dominant individual, and that is the Induna, the chief, who is up in the Manuletti at the moment. But then there will be a second in charge, a third in charge, so to speak. A natural pecking order. Shall we move forward slightly, because I think he's possibly going to pop out there. Let's see a little bit more of him. But generally, the best time, although it's not a strict rule, but the best time to see lion activity is first thing in the morning, last thing in the afternoon, and through the night. But it's not always the case. Here he comes. I'm going to come and join your brother. Didn't know that sound. I might just see him greeting. He might just come up and rub his brother's head. He might just flop down next to him. Oh yeah, sorry. The weight from Diane. Diane wanting to know the weight of a male lion. And Josie. Josie also wanting to know the weight. Depending on the area, but it can be anywhere between 180 kilos to even up to 260, 280 kilos for some of the big males, especially in the Kalahari. I think they grow big males there. I'm just going to pull around there because we're actually not getting too good a view of them now. Let's see if there's going to be anything between them before they do start to sleep. Just mind the area there. Might just fall back on you. So these boys, they do look quite large. I would say they're probably on the 220 mark. Too close because they are going to get hot and bothered. Try and squeeze around here as close as possible to this tree. And they're beautiful boys. Just tell me when you can see both of them. Yeah, do that. Sorry, forward a bit. Hi Sandy, an interesting question, wanting to know about breeding and whether males will fight over the rights to breed or whether the most dominant will breed. And it seems to be a bit of both. It seems to be sort of the first come first served kind of thing, and the others will back off. But then the hierarchy will play a role in that the most dominant is probably the most likely to be the first to get to a female that's in estrus. I mean, we actually have been lucky enough to see a mating over three or 4 days, I think it was, with the Kajimas. There was a Kajima male and one of the Unkahuma females. And the other male was close by, but he didn't even bother trying to get a look in. He was just quite happy just to sit there at a respectful distance and just give them some space, but he was still around. And I've seen it with other males as well. Once the male has picked up her scent and decided, okay, she is ready to mate, then he will follow her. Wherever she moves, whether she moves a centimetre, he will move also a centimetre, will almost sit on top of her. And obviously that can get quite irritating for the females. It's quite funny to watch, actually. So you can see the females getting very irritated, and she'll just want to get a bit of space, and then he'll move, and she'll give him a look, as if to say, "Don't even bother moving." And you can just see that look going, "Oh, okay." So definitely quite an interesting one to see the behaviour side and those little signs. And as I say, I have seen it but it's usually the most dominant that I've seen that gets there. But there doesn't seem to be too much fighting in that sense, which is quite unusual. But then again, coalitions are generally made up of brothers. Occasionally they might not be, but generally brothers or related animals. Maybe they've had the same father, or the same mother, different father at some stage, or maybe from the same pride. They might band together, so there's some form of relationship there. And if they share the same sort of genes, or share some of the genes, then it's almost like they can take a backseat and say, well, at least, obviously they won't go through that process, but it's the kind of science behind it and the thought behind it. So, okay, well, if my brother's mating, then it's basically like I'm mating with her, kind of thing. It's the same genes, so they are going to go on and survive, basically. But obviously, as the animals, they won't really go through that thought process. That's quite often why related animals might not worry too much about the mating, and why related animals may help their siblings. The parents may call on older siblings to come and help rear the pups, or rear the cubs, or rear the offspring, because if they are related and they can get those genes out there, then they have their family has a better chance of survival. Hi Alan, good to hear from you. From South Carolina, asking about the digestive system of the lion, and obviously all the meat that's going to be sitting there. Is the stomach going to be highly acidic? And yes, it is. And obviously they can eat fairly well gone rotten meat as well, obviously meat that we won't be able to touch. Ooh. Elephant trumpeting. But yes, highly acidic, and they work on the process of being full and empty. Oh, here comes the elephants. Oh, I wonder if we're going to get the lions moving, or whether the elephants are just going to walk right past them. Where's the wind? The wind's blowing actually towards us, so I don't think they're going to get the scent of the lions. Stations Schlambiv and Glov coming through the Ingala sighting. It looks like they're heading down towards Buffalo's Hook Dam. Here comes another family group. A bit closer this time. There we go, look at this. Yeah, he's not going to stick around. And they've been seen. Apparently we're the lesser of the two evils. Wow, it's actually a wall of elephants. Look at this. I wonder if they may have got the scent if the wind changed. You see they've all stopped now. The lions have moved, they've stopped. You see the trunks going up into the air. They're going to try and down into the drainage line. Let's just see if I can just reverse around a little bit. This family group is still not sure. lions are just there. I don't want to miss this. The elephants are actually just in front of us. Yeah, they're going right through where that lion was sleeping just before. There's a little baby with them, look. He's back here, look. Standing by?
Yeah, morning, back in 3.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were calling Tara. Amazing. Even though these lions are probably not going to be able to, well, they wouldn't really hunt the elephant here. I mean, especially with the buffalo carcass, they're full bellies. I'll just answer this. Go Ephraim. Just myself. Shnamib and Blov just headed through where the Ngala were Lalapans, so they've just moved off, but they should come back. There's one still around here. The Ngala are making their way down towards the dam now. An elephant could do serious damage to the lions, and that's why they're being very careful. Oh, there's another boy here just in front of some thick bush there. And lions could kill baby elephants. They could actually, and they have been known, especially up in Botswana, to kill adult elephants. Although we haven't really seen lions doing that here in the Sabi Sands or in Kruger. There is always a possibility that with them having full bellies, they are a difficult prey species to tackle, so unless the conditions are right, that the two species rather just avoid each other if they can. The boys are slowly making their way back this side. They're going to settle down. Should we go and see? Once they've settled down, the elephant's going down to the water to drink. We're actually not too far from the dam, but I think it will take us a little while to actually get there. Negotiate through the bush here. And there's the other boy. Who would have expected a herd of elephants to come walking through? So it's just wonderful just to spend a little bit more time with the animals, even when they are resting, because you don't know what's going to happen. The bush is forever changing. You're alright, little one. Just heading down here. Just take it easy. You see? this little 2-track actually ran all the way this side. A little bit easier than I thought it was going to be. Airframe come in. And those in Gala are making their way back towards the Bamba now. And the Love are up opposite them now.
Okay, I put out another one. So, I'm coming towards your side. Ready on again?
Oh, look at this. Oh, hello. Hello to Mrs. Christian's class. Over there. Chrisman, sorry, Mrs. Chrisman's class. And it is great to have you on board. 5th graders, 11 and 12 years old. And I hope you've been enjoying seeing the lions and the leopards and now this beautiful herd of elephants here with us. And I think everybody is asking us, is this live? And yes, it is. You're actually seeing what we're seeing right now here in South Africa, in Djuma Game Reserve. You see the baby elephants there. And this is nature at its best. Over there in Maine in Germany, welcome to you. Guten Tag. Airframe come in. You were calling me? Affirmative, they were cruising, but it looks like they're leaving now on the southern side. Yeah, they're fambering towards Hippos Road now. And what's quite interesting is how all that herd actually approached. Oh, it sounds like there's some more coming up behind us. You hear the trumpeting going on. I think he just found himself a lion. Oh, here he comes. Oh, shit. I can actually move out into the open. Come on, little one. Your family's going. He's trumpeting, saying, "Where are you?" Probably a young male. I wonder if it's... I don't know where Mark had the elephants yesterday. I wonder if it's the same male. Being left behind again. Come on, little one. They're over there. Saw him running with his tail up and his ears out. That means he is not a happy elephant at all. That will be because of those lions and probably being left behind. Maybe having the protection of his family there. You see he's settled down now, his tail's dropped, his ears are back against his head again. He has found his family. ledge. It's going to take us a little while to get around the other side. We're able to get down to the wolf ledge. Just be able to see them again. Couple of ellies down here too. Some water there, look. But there is individual family groups coming towards us. And then it all actually joined up to become a wall of elephants. Hi Angela. Oh, there's one that we missed. Let's see if we can go down here. Oh, hi Angela. Good morning or good afternoon, or evening. Wanting to know, do we have a problem with poachers? And to my knowledge, the guys have been able to keep the poachers out of the Sabi sands. There may be antelope that have taken other local villages, but I think we're probably talking about the rhinos more than anything. As I say, to my knowledge, I think they have managed to keep them out. We do have patrols that go out every day patrolling the fence line. If we see anything untoward, we report it. As I say, poaching can cover a lot, and that's even fishing. If you're actually fishing in an area you're not supposed to fish, that's actually classed as poaching. And Rhino Day is also coming up on the 22nd of September. And if anybody would like to sign a petition that's actually going to be given to, I think, some government officials that might actually help raise awareness of what's happening with the rhinos, then please do. I know there's, I've put the link on my Facebook page, and hopefully the more people that sign it, hopefully the officials might sit up and take notice that actually this is quite a serious See, the hippos are also asking to get it signed, putting their word in, giving their voice. But hopefully we can get officials on our side and actually make them realise that rhino poaching is a serious problem. And if it doesn't stop, we're not going to have any more rhinos out in the wild. And the ban on the ivory trade and the focus on the elephants has actually helped to increase elephant numbers. So let's hope we can actually do it for the rhino too. So that's going to be on the 22nd of September. And Vulture Awareness Day is tomorrow. a family of hippo. And we're just taking in all the sights, knowing that they're not going to be threatened by lions as long as they're sleeping in the water there. Hi Gilly, and welcome on board. Now I'll get to your question just now, but you might just be able to see baby hippo trying to climb on mum's back. So if you're wondering what it was doing, that's what it was doing. It's trying to climb on mum's back so it doesn't waste too much energy trying to get up to the surface of the water to breathe. 'Cause remember, hippos need to breathe air, and that's why you'll see them bobbing their heads up every so often to breathe. It's usually around 5 minutes or so. So what the babies do is they try and rest on the mum's backs. So obviously when the mum comes up, they can also put the head up. But also if mum's just sleeping just under the surface of the water, they can then just lift their heads and put their nostrils out the water. So it's not as much effort for them. But Gilly saying that she's found on the internet a species of cat she's never heard of before, and do we get them here? And the African golden cat. I think there was another one that you haven't heard of from South America. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. Oh, so just asking if I've ever seen one. So, sorry, misunderstood that one. So you know that that the African golden cat's found in Gabon, which is where Sept grew up. So Gabon's actually quite a distance from us. It's on it's northwest of where we are. It's actually quite high up on Africa, over the equator. Always last when he says flying home over the equator. So quite a distance from us, but unfortunately I've never seen, and they're beautiful cats. They're not big cats. They're one of the small cats. I think, if I understand rightly, they're probably about the same size as a serval. Maybe not as long as legs, or maybe even our caracal. That's probably the closer size to them, if I understand it right. But unfortunately, I've never had a chance to see one. I think they actually caught footage of one fairly recently. I think that was actually in the news, or just recent publications. First time ever actually catching an African golden cat on camera, video footage of it. And I think found in slightly different habitats. Gabon's got a lot of forests, which I think is probably its favoured habitat. Whereas we're here in the Sabi Sands, we do have a number of what they call biomes, but you have the savanna, which is a certain percentage of trees. I think it's 30% is trees and the rest is grassland. So you have some open areas. And then you have thickets. And then pure grassland, which wouldn't have any trees. So there's actually a number of biomes. I think there's 7 in total down here in South Africa. Forests, fynbos, the karoo, the succulent, and the nama karoo. And in each one you'll have different species of grass and plant, and even birds and animals. Everyone's settling down now. Shall we move on then? I think we're gonna leave the lions. See if they... Hopefully they've settled down. Now their nap's been interrupted. I doubt they'd have to have too much of a run-in with elephants to really know elephants could do them some damage. Just the pure size of the elephants would probably give that one away. Quite interesting in Botswana, where lions do hunt elephants. You actually do find the females. I mean, obviously we saw a bit of a protection there from the adults. The adults were trying to keep the lions in the sights, they were trumpeting, they were making sure the babies were close to them so they could protect them. But obviously with the lions scattering, they could see they weren't going to cause them a problem. What they have found is females that have had the experience where their babies have been caught by lions, if they hear lions roaring, and especially the males, funnily enough, the males seem to hunt baby elephant more than the female. If they hear the males roaring, those females that have had that experience will actually go into protection mode as soon as they hear the lions roaring. Whereas maybe elephants down here where we don't really see the lions hunting baby elephant, they'll hear the lions roaring and probably won't react to it. And that's what they found with females who were inexperienced. They didn't react to it because they haven't had that experience. So it goes to show it just depends on what happens in the area, how animals will react. Job, do you have any luck with the Ingwe? Okay, copy. Did you get something on Impala Plains earlier?
Just coming, and I've got another just like a couple of slumpy Saturdays. Just shot the southern right at the 12 then.
Alright, good copy, thank you. How funny would it be if we found a rhino and a buffalo together now? That's the first time I've ever done a big 5 drive.
say you were back? I think you were on the radio, on the other radio.
So 10 minutes to see a rhino and a buffalo. It's always fun, but it's not just what the bush is about. But it would be nice to do a big 5 drives at one stage in my career. I just spend too long watching the animals, that's my problem. But it's not a problem. You learn so much. Question, Bob. They're in Texas. Howdy. Wanting to know, is there any contents of an animal that can make a lion sick? I think possibly if an animal's eaten poison itself, it's still in its gut and it hasn't made its way to body, depending on the poison obviously. Maybe some poisons that do linger in the body. Which is how the lions actually catch TB from the buffalo, by eating them. To actually make them physically sick, I don't think so. Apart from if the animal's actually ingested something fairly recently. And actually lions will do the same thing if they do throw up for whatever reason. If maybe they get a bone lodged or something like that, they need to throw up. You will often find them eating a bit of grass, like cats and dogs do. Cats and dogs do to them, actually help them throw up. I think there's still a big debate as to whether lions actually have or cough up hairballs or not. So I was trying to, because I've never seen it in captivity, although it would actually make sense if they do, but they can actually digest, or the hair and hooves and things like that will go through the digestive system. Well, I'll say hooves, they crunch a little bit. But certainly the hair will go through the digestive system and come out. But it is thought that elsewhere, up in Kenya, Tanzania, where I think it's in Kenya, some of the tribes that they will actually pick up the hairballs and wear them as talismans, but whether they're the hairballs that actually from the dung, where they've actually been coughed up. Some reports on the internet say that they've actually seen, or that they see the animal coughing, and then when they go in they find the hairballs. But they've never actually seen it cough it out, kind of thing. So it's a funny one. It's a very funny one. I was just trying to find out how old you think the Mantuan were.
Yeah, they were probably about 3.5 months old, right?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Copy that, well done.
Yeah, very mom kind of growling from the distance. You can tell that they never put a more than before.
Copy that, thank you. Interesting information. Andrew just said that he saw a female with 2 cubs about 3.5 months old up by Jordan's dam, I think. But he said she was very, very skittish, so he couldn't get an ID on her. That's up on the northern side. I think it was close to Manuleti boundary, he said. I think we might have... Yep. Linus and Anna over in the classroom in Maine in Germany. Hi everybody, and I'm going to be saying goodbye, but just before I go, I'll answer your questions quickly, because I think you're going as well. But Anna, wanting to know, will the lions and elephants fight? And they can do. But as you saw, especially with big elephants, they're not really going to fight that much. But if there was a small elephant, then, and a lot of lions, maybe. But with them being so big, the elephant should usually win, as long as there's not too many lions to actually fight against it. And lioness, what age do the manes appear on the lions? They actually start to grow from when they're very, very young, but you don't really see it until they're probably about 1.5 years old. You start to see a little bit of growth down here, maybe here, and maybe a little bit on top as well. So you can usually tell at a fairly early age. But thank you very much, everybody. I'm going to jump out, so you might be able to hear me. Should have done that before. But thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. What a wonderful morning. And I was so excited. I couldn't sleep past 4 o'clock this morning. I was so excited. And it just goes to show it really was a fantastic morning with the leopards, the lions, the elephants. And as I say, it just goes to show how unpredictable the African bush really can be. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I really hope you've enjoyed it. And also the hyena. I forgot about the hyena as well, with the hyena chasing each other around the vehicles. Absolutely wonderful. But do join us again if you'd like to, and do let your neighbours and friends know all about us, and see if they'd like to join us for a wild safari here at Juma Game Reserve. So do join us. Thanks, Becky, for all your camera work this morning. Mark, back in final control with all the questions. Thank you guys for all the questions you sent in. It's always great to hear from you. My name's Tara. You've been watching Juma, and we shall see you very, very, very soon at 3:30 Central Africa time. Bye for now.